Welcome to this episode of Insights on Demand, a thought leadership series sponsored by Insight Up, where we talk to marketing leaders at top technology companies about what they're doing to drive growth in the current economic environment. Today, my guest is Jayashree Rajan, CMO of the fast-growing iPaaS and application generation platform Jitterbit. How are you doing today, Jayashree?
I'm great, Grant. Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
It's great to learn more about this. Is this your first CMO role now in your career?
This is my first CMO role, and really excited to be in the current market. Which is integration and automation. We just had our Magic Quadrant release, so exciting times.
Oh, that's excellent. Um, so you've always felt that maybe a CMO role was kind of in your future. How did you prepare yourself, in some of your previous roles to take on that level of responsibility and accountability that goes with being in the C-suite?
So I think over the last several years in my career, it's been progressively taking on different things within marketing, right? And trying to, at the end of the day, figure out what we should do, what tactics help with go to market, what tactics help us to promote our products, and at the end of the day, drive pipeline and drive those wins for sales. So over the last several years now, I have been doing different things from demand gen, from doing community, customer advocacy, customer loyalty programs, global campaigns, digital events, name it. I have been, taking on all of those, and I have to thank a lot of, the mentors that I've worked with, a lot of my managers who have been really good with giving me the trust and the responsibility. But it's all about data and making that connection to business. And I think at the end of the day, that's key in marketing.
Yeah. Talk about that face to face. I know that Jitterbit just had its sales kickoff meeting. That probably meant some face to face. How important was that in getting those alignments and that partnership you're talking about?
Yeah, I think that at the end of the day, COVID changed the model, right? Everything became remote and then slowly hybrid. And we are a remote company, right? Everybody works remote. We're on Zoom all day. We're talking to each other constantly with our videos on, which is great. But that in person meeting and having those conversations and, pulling people aside and saying, hey, I saw this deal that you were talking about. How can I help you? What asset do you need? What case study do you need? That actually makes a difference. So that in person meetings, as much as the topics can be covered remote, that connection, that shared partnership, the shared vision, and that bonding actually brings a whole different level to that relationship, a whole different way of working together, if you will, and the trust that it builds. So everybody now got back reinvigorated, excited to tackle FY25, and also knowing that we have each other working in partnership.
So again, I probably didn't give you enough chance to talk about Jitterbit, and
Yeah.
it's a name that maybe is not uh, top of the tongue. A lot of folks are getting used to what that means, but you're definitely in the iPaaS space and now in the low code development space. So give our listeners a little bit of a snapshot of what you guys do and your value add.
Perfect. So, it's surprising to know, but Jitterbit has been in the market for around 20 years. And we help companies with digital transformation and we help them automate their workflows, processes. We help them integrate their systems. And the unique differentiation we have compared to others that you see in the market is we also help build apps on top. So, say you want to move, you're a company that wants to move data from one system to the other because you want to do invoicing. So, you want to get the order information to a certain system so you can do invoices on time. We will support those needs with our products, solutions. But say you don't want to do that, you want to also extract data because you don't want everybody to be on that system. It's expensive for licensing. Or you want to give access to your third party. So we also provide capabilities for you to extract that data, build apps on top with our low code application development platform. So that's one of the acquisitions we made last year. And we give companies the flexibility. So imagine if you're an enterprise, you can do, a ton of use cases with connecting systems or extracting data for your partners, third party, or extracting data outside for your employees to build apps. Because line of business nowadays, they want to build apps. They don't want to always depend on IT moving data between systems. So this gives those, the power to the line of business, but with governance, with IT still being the governing body, and the compliance and safety and security on top.
So can you guys say that you're agnostic? What if someone is like decided that Snowflake is their kind of like data um, repository, and then they take their warehousing off of that and do their analytics against it? Can you guys kind of be a complement to that strategy then?
We can. So we can be agnostic to where the data source is. You can just use our low code application development platform if you want, and you can extract the data. You can build apps. And that's where our professional services team comes in, right? We do that white glove approach. We help you as seamless. You've seen some of our webinars, easy drag and drop interface, easy for someone to build apps. One of my favorite webinars was this pet company, and he said he had challenges getting on Zoom, but he could actually build an app to enable his e-commerce platform. So it's as easy as that, if you want to, or you can use our teams. So you can do whatever model, or you can use our integration platform as well. But we are agnostic. We can support, like I said, hey, the customer is the king. We want to support your business needs, and we want to figure out how to help you with your systems, with your needs, with your integrations.
Looking forward, then, what are some of the channels? I know you do a lot of nice demo videos, short, sort of digestible things that leverage the great UI that you guys have built. Kind of the point and click, and everything is organized. A lot of white space on the screen, so people kind of feel like it's approachable, and then they can do their connections. And I think the EDI one was the one I saw recently. And EDI has been a big sort of wizard sort of thing to try and get all the the transitions working between large enterprises. And if you can kind of create a point and click template, for EDI connections, and making this work with your training partners, that's got to be important. So, what sort of channels are the ones that you think the marketing team are going to find most useful, and how are you going to measure the value of those?
So most of our channels are going to be digital, right? And you've been in this business long, a lot of our users do research online. They try to find information online. So it is, things like webinars, assets that they can use, like the demos, the bite-sized videos that they can see, our feature flashes that we show one particular feature and how easy it is, drag and drop, right? So we are going to do more of those, and connected, right? So it is not just going to be, hey, here you go, different pieces. It is going to be a connected campaign, a connected user journey flow, if you will, which is what is really exciting, right? I'm excited about being able to have this user journey, give them a guided view, but a lot of it is going to be, you know digital. The power of digital is has just been growing, right, by leaps and bounds. And we are going to take some of these to events as well. We do have user groups that we run in EMEA, where it is sort of our own events. So we are going to be taking a lot of these where we can do like hands-on workshops, show them those features, show them those capabilities. So it is going to be a mix of digital with some in-person or hands-on workshop type activities and tactics as well.
Awesome. What about localization? I mean, how much localization in terms of local language do you need to have for your marketing plan? I mean, you probably have to have a budget for localization. Is that something that's really important to you in certain markets, or are you going to go with the English for most of the enterprise sort of stuff?
Yeah. So localization, like we have a fairly big market in Brazil. So we do have to make sure that we are translating, our press releases, our assets, Webinars need to have transcripts. So we do, luckily, we actually do have a team, right? I do have a marketing team. We do take care of all of those translation, some of it in-house, others working with agencies, some of it is low lift. So we do translations. EMEA, for the most part, we do business in English speaking countries, so English works there. And there is like dark as an example where we do have to localize. So the dark region will localize, but the need for localization is not that heavy there. But yes, it is part of our budget, and it is part of the some of the things that we have to do, localize. But it's not as heavy as you would imagine.
Awesome. What is the biggest challenge you've faced? Now, you've been in this role for less than 6 months, probably, or how long has it been?
Yeah, less than 6 months.
All right. So, in setting up your first yearly budget, what have been the toughest challenges that you've had to face, where you realized that you couldn't actually fund some of those larger programs? Were you able to go back and get maybe an exception done because this is such an important year for you? How do you work with a CFO, in other words, to get a little more money from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
from the team?
So one of the things, like I said, was to get to a baseline, right? What did we do? What worked? What didn't work? And then getting to a plan structure, because I have, a presentation, a template now where we say, based on what we saw last year, this is what we're going to do. This is the expected outcome in terms of pipeline, direct generated, influenced, right? We actually want to call out both. If you're going to influence because a partner is there and they're going to bring someone, we want to call that out too. So it's pretty disciplined in terms of what we want to do, why we want to do, what success we're going to generate. And like I said, marketing, we do have to, it's not a done deal, right? You don't just come up with a plan and say, hey, this is my 6 month plan, I'm going to forget about it. We go back and do a retrospective and say, this did this really give us what we wanted? So with the CFO, it is more, hey, here is what we're planning for the next 3 months and 6 months, and we will tweak this based on what we see as results. We will change. And then some of the things that we were doing, like I said, that didn't have any performance that we could see, we stopped doing. So I worked with the team to come back and say, let us not do those things, let us do more of these things. But we'll also be agile. We will be nimble. We will react as we have more data points from the things that we are working through.
Well, I'm really excited to see what Jitterbit comes out with because you're right in the middle of such a huge trend now in developing ways for enterprise to be more efficient, not just internally, but with all their partners, their trading partners. It's going to be an exciting year for you. Do you have any other trends or forecasts that we should be aware of from your seat that we haven't talked about yet?
No, I think it's the market is a growing market. You look at the TAM, more and more companies actually want solutions like this as they are heading into how do we optimize, how do we automate, how do we integrate systems. More tools are coming in, more data silos. So again, there is a need to have that centralized view, right? You need to pull all the data together. Everybody wants to own the data. So how do you pull that together? So the trend actually for this market, for the set of solutions we have, is only going upwards. We need to keep going and marching upwards and getting those large enterprises, and that's our focus this year. So we are going to use a combination, like I said, big bets, digital tactics, some events where it'd be more hands-on, and some account-based marketing where we are doing outbounding. We are reaching out to people potentially in market, but that might not know about us. So those would be some of the main things and themes that we are looking to hone in on.
Awesome. Well, I wish you the best of luck, Jayashree. It's really nice to catch up with you again and have an outstanding year.
Likewise, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure being here. Have a good day, Grad.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Supercharge your sales pipeline with InsightUp. With our in-capture platform driven by predictive AI and our expert team, we deliver pipeline to spend ratios exceeding 7x. Let us be your partner in achieving rapid pipeline growth. Visit www.insightUp.com. Let us meet to schedule a meeting.